Welcome to 13 Not Radio. And today I wanted to talk to y'all about my experience as far as the Frankenstein created bikers movie. I was very proud of this experience and I wanted to talk a little bit because I think it was a very cool story. Anybody who's listening wants to talk, listen to this, me ramble about Frankenstein created bikers. First time I had seen Dear God No, one of my friends had showed it to me. He said, "Man, you got to see this movie." And I looked up the trailer. I was like, "Man, this looks awesome." And they did it on a $7,000 budget. At least I think that's what it was for Frankenstein created. Dear God No. Dear God No was part one of the Frankenstein created bikers. And I watched it. Maybe I was like, "Man, this is amazing. This is one of my favorite." And it is, till this day, it's one of my favorite indie films of all time. James Bickert did an amazing job on that. Cast, crew, everybody. Loved that movie. Anyway, Frankenstein created bikers poster starts coming up. Poster art. So it's going to be Dear God No Part 2. And the poster looks so amazing. I think Dude Designs did it. Amazing poster. And I couldn't wait. And like a year or two went by. Nothing was happening with it. And the Indiegogo finally came up for it. And I was looking at the perks. I was like, "Oh, there's a perk where you can get in this movie." So yes, I contacted James about it and really wanted this perk. I think there was like 4 of them. One had a speaking role, or maybe 8 of them. One had a speaking role, one didn't. You get to die in the movie. And I was like, "Man, I've never been in a movie before. I want to be in a movie." So I had paid for the perk, which this is an amazing perk, and I always love these perks to this day when people offer to be in the movie. And this is the reason why I love that perk. Just don't make it just so outrageous nobody can afford it. I mean, you still got to pay your own way, pay for everything. I mean, they just give you opportunity to be in the movie and act and die in the movie, maybe even get a speaking role. At the time, I had never been in a movie, and I wanted to get into movies, and I thought, what better way than to get in Frankenstein created bikers, which Dear God No was one of my favorite indie films of all time. To be in Frankenstein created bikers was so amazing. It was like an amazing opportunity for me. So I paid for it. It was being in Atlanta, and I remember driving down there, not the night before. I was nervous about going down there. Stayed down there. Had to be up at like 7 or 6 in the morning and be there like at 8 on set to do the scenes. I met so many amazing people on set of this film. And the other thing was, it was being filmed in 35 millimeter. I was like, "Man, when am I going to get a chance to be in a 35 millimeter film again?" So that was an amazing opportunity in itself. And I got there, and I had seen Dear God No, and I met James. I call him James. Everybody else calls him Jimmy. His Facebook says James. I call him James. All right. So I get there, and the set was so amazing. Like the spot they had picked out for all this stuff that was going down in the movie. I remember there was a bar. The guy had a bar and everything outside. It was very cool. All the actors on set I met. Ellie Church was amazing. She was very cool to hang out with. She's like hanging out with one of the guys. James, Jet Bryant. Jet Bryant was one of the coolest motherfuckers I ever met in a film. And Johnny Collins. Johnny Collins was cool. I love that dude. So I get there, and my scene, we each get like a part. We had Matt Flynn. I think his name was Matt Flynn. Very cool guy. He dies in the same scene as me. I of course get killed by James. I go up to James. I remember going up to James and meeting him and stuff. And I had no idea how I'm dying in this film. We got no script. I had one line, and that was, to me, I thought the line was kind of corny. But I meet James, and I'm talking to him, and Jet's sitting right there. And I'm like, "Y'all ain't going to be like taking me out in the woods and raping me or something. I seen Dear God No." Of course, I laugh about it. Funny part about that is something that aspect happens to me in Chicken's Blood. So the one thing that I asked them not to do happens to me in Chicken's Blood, which is my own film. And we get ready, and I got to get a squib put in my leg where I get shot in the leg. So I go over there. They put the squib in, sew it in my jeans. I get back, excuse me. We get down there to do the scene, and sorry, my dog. And scratching down there. And we get down there to do the scene, and you only get you get to rehearse a little bit. Like, you go over the scene, go over the scene, go over the scene, go over the scene. And then, because it's on 35 millimeter, you only got so much of that to go. So you just go over it, go over it, go over it, and then it's go time. So we start to roll. Like, this is it. This is the one. This is going. It's going down. We start to roll, and before he says action or whatever, before James says action, the squib in my leg accidentally goes off before the scene ever starts. So I got blood dripping down my leg, and I ain't even been shot yet. Yeah, it was bad. I saw James looked like he was a little upset. Was not my fault, by the way. I don't know what happened with the because I got this wire running down my leg out the bottom of my pants, and the squib went off. And luckily, I had brought an extra pair of pants. Don't ask me why. But I did have an extra pair of pants in the car, so I had to go back. We had to go back up, put another squib in my leg, and hopefully everything went good this time around. And thankfully it did. And my one line in the film was, "He's not human." And I'm supposed to yell it. So when I get shot in the leg, after we shoot at him, I get shot in the leg, and I'm supposed to yell, "He's not human." And it doesn't sound like it would be hard, but to act like you're being shot in the leg and to yell that is kind of hard. And then it was a cut, and then, dude, oh my God, I had to run up this hill, right? And if you watch the film, you see me do it. James made me, I'm in cowboy boots too, and it's fucking 100 degrees outside. And if it wasn't, it was at least 90, 95. It felt like 100 degrees in Atlanta weather. So I'm running up this fucking hill. He's like, "All right, run up the hill, and I want you to run up, get up to the top of the hill, and turn around, and flip me off." I was like, "Okay." So I get up the hill, and I run up the hill, and I'm limping the whole way because I got shot in the leg. And I get up the hill, and he's like, "All right, come on, do it again. All right, run up the hill again. All right, come on, do it one more time. Run up the hill again. All right, one more time." And I'm like, by the time I ended this, I'm just dripping sweat, dying of thirst. I'm thinking, I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I was so exhausted from running up that fucking hill. So I get up the hill. Okay, we got that now. And on the last take, and you can see it in the camera, on the film, I grabbed the top of the hill to pull myself up, and the grass and stuff breaks, and I almost fall. So that's real. I get up the hill, I turn around, I do the turnaround thing. I'm supposed to flip him off. And we do that a couple times, and he comes up there, James comes up there and tells me, he's like, "All right, you gotta fall." So, "All right, fall." I was like, "How you want me to fall?" And he shows me, and I was like, "Man, I don't know about that. That don't look like it's gonna look good." And he tells me I can do it however I want to do it. I mean, because the way he done it, he was trying to be safe for me and my safety, which was cool. That was great. But I've been known to do some stupid shit on set, so of course I do a stupid thing this time, and I want to fall just flat back. Like when he shoots me in the head, I throw my head back and just fall. And I did it, and I remember the first take I fell, and I heard James go, "All right, get back up, do it again." And I was like, "Fuck," because that kind of hurt, I ain't gonna lie. So I get back up, do it again, and in the second take, all right, I fall back, hit again, and I felt it. When I hit the ground, my tailbone hit first, and it cracked my tailbone, and I didn't want to say anything at the time because I was kind of embarrassed about it. I laid there for a good 10 seconds, and then I heard James be like, "All right, James, one more time." I thought, oh no, There's no way I'm gonna be able to do it one more time. But I did. I got up. I did it one more time. Fell. I laid there for a minute. Thank God that was the last take, and that was the end of my experience on the set. Of course, I stayed for hours, like watching everything, and I got to see some pretty cool stuff. The machine gun shootout thing going down, and a lot of cool stuff. I learned a lot of stuff on set that day, and I took that learning experience into doing what I do now. And I thank James all the time that he gave me the opportunity to be in the movie, even though I paid to be in it. A lot of people made fun of me for that, by the way. I mean, I got made fun of a lot of, oh, you paid to be in it? You're not getting paid? Are you paid to get in? Yes, I paid to get in the fucking movie. Get over it. It's my life. I do what the fuck I want. And from that, man, it like that like I said, met so many cool people on set, and learning how sets run, more or less. That was the first time I'd been on set. That was it 2014, 2015, I can't remember. Anyway, I got done with that and that day, and I had left. I want to tell you one thing about the hill, though. When I climbed up the hill and James told me he wanted me to fall backward, I looked down, and it's just like massive fire ant hill, right? I was like, dude, I can't land in that. That's fire ants. So we moved it down a little bit. Because that would have been bad. Not only would have my tailbone been broke, I would have, and that again has nothing to do with that was my own fault. I did that to myself when I cracked my tailbone. But the fire ants might have been his fault if I'd have landed in it. Which I don't know. I guess could be my fault too. But that would have sucked. Had a cracked tailbone and fire ants all over me. But remember finishing that up, and then it took about a year for that movie to come out on Blu-ray. I remember getting to see it for the first time. It was amazing. Now, in no way is this film, to me, better than Dear God No. Dear God No will always be one of my top films of all time, indie-wise. But Frankenstein Crib Bikers to me was not as good, but it was a badass film. And it was a very cool experience for me to be in it for the first time. Also, I got an invitation to go to the premiere party, which was also at the premiere in Atlanta. So it was my first premiere as well. Now, my girlfriend at the time, she had, I want to say also that I tried this before with another film I was going to be in, I think another one, which I'm very happy I didn't do that, because this was one of the ways I wanted to learn some stuff, was get on set of some of these films. And I'm glad I didn't do it. I think it was Headless that offered it. I'm glad I didn't do that one, because after learning that there was just a pile of bodies that people were paying to be a part of, James actually lets you have a acting role and experience, and lets you say lines and everything. Now, getting to the premiere, I remember the premiere's coming up, and this is my ex at the time that I was dating, and she had booked the hotel room for us. Man, we went and bought outfits, everything. She was looking fine. I think the shirt I wore at the fucking thing, I went out and bought for it that, and I never wore it again, I don't believe. But we got to the premiere, very cool experience. When we got there, it was a bad experience when we first got there, because my girlfriend at the time had booked the hotel, and she thought she was doing a good thing because she got to cheat. She found this hotel so cheap, and she didn't know why. And we got there, and when we pulled up, and there's like fucking gangs and shit out there. It's in the middle of Atlanta. Atlanta's weird because it's like nice, then it's bad, and then it's nice, and then it's bad, all on the same street. It was fucking weird. So we got to the hotel. It's like gangs or something like out there. It looked like gangs or something just blocking the hotel entrance. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Then they finally moved and let us in. And then we start to get out. And I seen her over there. She just shaking her head. And we saw this dude like running out of the hotel. And then all of a sudden, police pull up. It was a bad start. And we go in, and the dude behind the counter is looking at us like kind of weird and shit. We pay it. We get the reservations. And this is the only hotel I've ever had to been buzzed to get in, like you in jail. And he buzzes us in to go back to the rooms. Like, he had to buzz the door. Door opens so we can go in. You can't get in no other way unless he buzzes you in. And I thought that was weird. I was like, this is fucking like jail. So we get up to the room, and you had to go all the way around these hallways getting in. And when we got to the room, the neighbors are yelling at each other like they're fighting, about to kill each other. We get into the room. It's the most shittiest room I've ever seen in my life. The window was like, you can see brick walls out the window. The shower, I couldn't even hardly fit in this motherfucker. The bed looked like shit. This is like what you would call it's a place you go to do drugs or something. Maybe to go fuck a hooker. I don't know. Well, I felt so bad for my girlfriend at the time because she was just crying because she had rented this room and thought she had done a good thing and had a good deal, and she was just bawling. And we tried to find another room, but it's a Saturday in Atlanta and you couldn't find one, so we was kind of stuck with it. So we said, fuck it, all right. And I did. I felt bad for her. She cried like all night about that. But we went and got ready and called a cab driver. I think we actually drove over there first, and then I was like, fuck it, we're calling a cab. They're going to drop us off. We're going because we couldn't find a parking spot nowhere where the thing was. So we got a cab, and the cab driver pulls up. And we dressed all nice and stuff coming out of this hotel. And the cab driver, we got in, and the cabbie, this is how you know you're in a bad part of the neighborhood. The cab driver looks at me, and he's like, looks at us. He's like, y'all don't need to be here. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? He's like, y'all don't need to be in this area. And he's like, when y'all leave wherever y'all are going and y'all come back here, you go in your room and you stay there. Do not come back out for nothing. You go in, you stay, you wake up and you leave. They told me not to come outside for anything after I got back. And that is kind of scary a little bit. I mean, I'm not used to Atlanta anyway, so when they told us that, it was just like, all right, oh shit. It's a bad neighborhood. So he took us to the premiere. We got there, and it was so cool. There was so many people there. It was packed house, Atlanta Film Festival. And I remember going to get drinks at the pre-party, the premiere party before the event starts. Lawrence Harvey was in there. Ellie Church was in there. Brian Williams, James Bickard. I saw Johnny Collins. I was like, oh, Johnny, what's up? And then we go in the line and get some Pabst Blue Ribbons because that was the drink. Everybody was drinking Pabst. And we go to the line, and I look over, and I was like, yo, is that Tyler Maine? Tyler Maine's at the premiere. I was like, I wonder if Johnny, because Johnny was talking to him. I was like, Johnny, man, what's going on? Johnny was in Frankenstein Creative Burgers, one of the main stars. I was like, is that Tyler Maine? He was like, yeah, me and him was doing a movie together, and he wanted to come down and watch Frankenstein Creative Bikers. I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. And the girl I was with at the time was in love with Michael Myers. She didn't know that it was him at first. And I was like, man, that's Michael Myers. And she was tripping because she was like, in love with Michael Myers. She still loves Michael Myers. And we had, I sent her up there to go get the beers. Don't think bad of me because I had a plan. She goes up to get the beers. And I was like, I snuck over and talked to Johnny and Tyler, man. I was like, Tyler, man, you see that girl at the bar, that good-looking girl at the bar? And he's like, yeah. I was like, dude, man, she's like in love with Michael Myers, man. Michael Myers is like her thing, all right? And I was like, I asked him, I said, man, can you do me just a really huge favor? I said, I asked him, I said, man, would you go up behind her and when she turns around with the drinks, just stand there and stare at her, like give her a mean look or something. And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. And Tyler's cool, man. Tyler was cool as a motherfucker. He goes up behind her and stands. And I remember the look on his face. He's just mean look. And she turns around. I thought she was going to drop the drinks. I thought she was going to drop them. She was, and it made me feel good that she felt good about and she was so surprised by it and stuff. She got her pictures with him and everything, and it was an awesome moment, especially for her. It was an awesome moment for me because Tyler even did the thing, and it was very cool of him to do that for me and for her. And we got, after that is, we walked to the premiere. It had a very cool speech from, James at the beginning. He put on a little show. I thought it was awesome. The main villain in Frankenstein created Burgers. What is her name? Fuck, I'm drawing a blank. The girl with the eye patch gets fucked in the eye. Uh, but she come out in full costume, cracks him over the head with one of them sugar bottles or whatever, beer bottles, looks like a beer bottle, and knocks him out. And then she says a little thing, and then the movie starts, and it was all good. It was great. Had people that was taking pictures. It was a very cool premiere. The budget on that film was way more than Dear God No, and it shows in the film. Even though I don't think it's as good as a film as Dear God No, I love Dear God No. Frankenstein Creative Bears, I love it. But to me, Dear God No will always be better. I don't know, maybe the sequel thing, but 35 millimeter film, being a part of that was very cool, and I appreciated James putting that perk out so people could, like me, could be a part of it. I met some very cool people that was also in those perks. And they got killed with us. I remember hearing Jet joke about it, like people paying money to like. I remember hearing Jet Bryant, which is the star of Frankenstein Created Bikers, saying something about people paying money for us to kill them. I thought that was kind of cool. I guess I didn't mind though. It was a very cool experience, and I thought it was something cool to talk about. I don't know if I've ever went on length about talking about the full experience of what James Bickert did for me, as far as giving me a lot of insight to by giving me that experience into the filming and stuff. So since that, I've been in like 2 or 3 other films, plus made a film. So that kind of kick-started everything for me, and the experience, and getting to say you was in Frankenstein Created Bikers is an awesome thing. Even though I paid to get in it, like I said, I got made fun of. I get made fun of. But being where I'm from, and being from like the sticks, the country, and out here people argue what's the sticks and what's the country. I'm just talking about from Hollywood or from a city perspective. We in the country. So out here, like, you're not supposed to make movies. You don't be in movies. You don't supposed to make movies, and people will just make fun of you for trying to do it, and it's you just got to go through it, with anything else. But that was my experience with Frankenstein Created Bikers, and I had a great time with all of it. And anybody that sat through this whole thing, I appreciate y'all interest in it. But if you haven't watched Frankenstein Created Bikers or Dear God No, you need to. Both very cool indie films. I don't really remember what the budget of Frankenstein Created Bikers is. I'm thinking it's around 125 grand or something. I don't know. Maybe more than that. But go check them out if you get a chance. You'll see me crack my tailbone in it on the fall, I guess. That hurt so bad too. It hurt for like weeks. I'm talking about. I remember I couldn't hardly move, and I didn't want to say anything to James hardly at all about it, because it's my fault. But it was it hurt for a long time. That was a painful experience. But that's all I got. I appreciate y'all tuning in to this, and if y'all listen to this whole thing, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Y'all come back and hang again sometime.